The Political Bureau of the Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea called a consultative meeting in the headquarters building of the party Central Committee on May the 14th to examine the operation of the greatest emergency anti-epidemic system and reinforce political and practical measures. The respected Kim Jong-un, General Secretary of the Workers' Party of Korea, guided the consultative meeting. Present at the meeting were members of the Presidium of the Political Bureau of the Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea and members and alternate members of the Political Bureau of the Party Central Committee. Also on hand as observers were officials in the state emergency anti-epidemic field and leading officials of the Ministry of Public Health. The Political Bureau first listened to the report of the State Emergency Anti-Epidemic Headquarters on the spread of the pandemic on May the 13th. On May the 13th, there occurred another more than 174,440 persons in a fever, over 81,430 were completely recovered, and 21 died across the country. The total number of those in a fever across the country is 524,440 between late April and May the 13th, of whom over 243,630 were completely recovered and over 280,810 are under treatment. 27 persons died up to date. The report mentioned the data on the spread of pandemic in each region and unit and the characteristics of the cause of the disease. It also informed of the fact that there was the loss of life because of accidents such as the excessive use of medicines that have come from the lack of knowledge of scientific treatment methods in most of cases. The Political Bureau discussed political and practical measures to rapidly deter and control the pandemic sweeping the whole country and take firm strategic initiative. The consultative meeting intensively discussed an issue on rapidly disseminating the reserve medicines which are urgently released according to the demand of the greatest emergency anti-epidemic system. Practical procedures were confirmed once again to convey the medicines to the patients in time and precisely for use by mobilizing the state means and forces to the transport and supply of the medicines in demand. The consultative meeting profoundly discussed ways to rationally introduce scientific treatment strategies and methods for different patients, including those in a fever with special constitution, to minimize the loss of life and to curb with the spread of the pandemic timely while watching the tendency more closely. Kim Jong-un said, as the spread of COVID-19 is very serious worldwide, it can be said that the spread of this malignant disease is a great turmoil in our country since its foundation. But such crises can be overcome when we do not lose the balance in the implementation of the anti-epidemic policy, but maintain the strong organizing ability and control based on the single-minded unity of the party and the people, and strengthen the anti-epidemic struggle. Making a scientific analysis of the essence and source of the situation, Kim Jong-un continued, the present situation is not an uncontrollable spread between the regions, but a spread in the blocked regions and units concerned, and the course of the disease is smooth. Therefore, we should have the confidence to overcome the malignant disease at the shortest time. Kim Jong-un stressed once again the rationality and efficiency of the regional blockade and tight close of units decisively taken by the party and the government. He said the emergency anti-epidemic units at all levels should reverse the tendency of spread of the pandemic by organizing close operation and command of the anti-epidemic work in their regions and units. In order to rapidly tide over the present public health crisis, it is important to raise the scientific anti-epidemic consciousness of the entire people, he said, and continued. The preventive and curative organs and other sectors concerned should properly inform the broad masses of the propaganda of common knowledge needed for prevention and treatment of the pandemic, and make a lot of diverse programs which can promote the people's understanding and widely disseminate them through mass media. The officials of the party organizations at all levels, who know the public health and preventive policy of the Workers' Party of Korea more than anybody else, should go deep among the masses suffering from trials to share sweets and bitters with them and become able guides and kind explainers to firmly provide advantageous conditions of the anti-epidemic campaign. The party organizations at all levels should resolutely turn out in the campaign for safeguarding and defending the people with the infinite devotion and unchangeable loyalty to them, and always become the scouting party, shock brigade, and bulletproof wall in the acute anti-epidemic war. The virtues and affection of our society, in which people help and take care of each other when they have a hard time, are more powerful secret and guarantee of victory in the anti-epidemic work than any latest medical science and technology. All the party organizations should do proper organizational and political work so that our best communist virtues and traits nobody in the world can have or imitate can be more fully displayed in this difficult and arduous anti-epidemic war. The time has come when our party Central Committee should prove its leading role once again before the trials of history. Now is the time that we should be more deeply conscious of what we are needed for and for whom we have to fight at the risk of our lives. Our party will bravely turn out for its important duty and bear full responsibility for the security and well-being of the country and people with its infinite loyalty and devotion, he said, and expressed time and again his determination and will to win a great victory in the anti-epidemic campaign. Kim Jong-un said he offers to the party committee of the headquarters the reserve medicines his family prepared, representing their resolve to always share the lot with the people, and ardently praying for another peace and laughter in the families across the country, and suggested sending them to the difficult families. He said it is very important for our anti-epidemic sector to make a good study of the anti-epidemic policies of the advanced countries and their successes and experiences in the anti-epidemic work. Especially, it is good to actively follow the advanced and rich anti-epidemic successes and experiences obtained by the Chinese party and people in the struggle against the malignant disease, he added. The consultative meeting also discussed issues on taking practical measures to rapidly strengthen the material and technical foundations of the public health and on taking legal steps to powerfully fight against all sorts of undesirable practices giving an impediment to the emergency anti-epidemic work.